Hey friends, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram. It is Monday, December 11th, and I am back for my next video. Thank you so much for coming to check me out today. Thank you so much for everyone who has watched my video last week. I did my whip parade and like half floss tube, half whip parade last week. And I appreciate you coming back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. So it is time for my plans video. I spent some time over the weekend, well, over the last few weeks, but solidified this weekend my my plans for next year. In case you are new here, this is my puppy Kaya. She is 6.5 months old, and then behind the camera, Tanky is asleep. They are quite exhausted. So David just left for work, but we had a whirlwind of a weekend. We went to South Carolina for the baby shower, which went super well. It was a lot of fun, but they are exhausted. It was a whirlwind, so they're relaxing today. But let me kind of jump into it. I'm gonna show a few projects. I'm not gonna show everything again, because again, I just did my whip parade last week. So I'm gonna show mostly like cover photos of things, or if I have a kit, I'll show you like the full kit, but mostly cover photos and kind of talking about the plans. I hope this isn't supposed to be too long of a video. So, but if you're interested in any of the projects of like where I actually am on them, or what they look like, you can go to my last video and you'll see my whole whip parade. I did put a timestamp in the description box. I think it's at 35 minutes is when I actually start my whip parade. So if you want to kind of bypass all the floss tube, stuff where I talk about other things, then you can just want to see the whip parade. I believe it's minute 35. So, all right, let's kind of jump into it. So first I'm going to talk about my 12 by 12 plans for this year. So I think 2021 was the first year that Pam from Just Keep Stitching and Kia from Kia B did the 12 by 12, where on New Year's Eve, they do 12 projects in 12 hours. So you do a project an hour from noon to midnight. The first year I did 12 new starts and I'm still reaping the consequences of that. And then last year I did kind of a half and half, where if I had finished a project from the previous 12 by 12, I replaced it with either a new start or a whip. And then I worked on any project that I still had lingering. And I did 12 that year as well. This year, I'm gonna do it even more different. So David won't be here. He's going to DC with a friend to watch the 49ers game. And so I have not fully solidified my plans for that day. I might go up and hang out it's our Williamsburg friends. So I might go spend time with his wife after she's off of work. I'm not quite sure. So my plans are if things work out right, this is what I'll be doing, but they are very much subject to change. But this is my initial thoughts, where if I have the day to myself, or I get up there and she just wants to watch TV, and I'll be doing this. So overall, I'm gonna do 6 projects, and they're gonna each get 2 hours. So that way I actually feel like I get a little bit more progress, because every time I've done 12 by 12, it was really only like 40 minutes of actual stitching max, because I'd have to, get the project ready, get it set up. And then when there was a few minutes left of the hour, I needed to take my picture, I need to use the bathroom, and we still did stuff during the day. There was an hour of dinner, where I really maybe only got 15 minutes of stitching on that project. So life, still happens over those 12 hours. So I think I'm gonna expand the time frame a little bit, hopefully get a little bit more progress, and also fit in life a little bit more, because I am gonna be, having the dogs and all that kind of thing. So the first 3 projects are gonna be restarts for me. So 2 are restarts, one's a new start. So the first 2, I started 12 by 12 either last year or the year before, and I'm restarting them on different things. And then the third one is gonna be a brand new start. It's gonna be my New Year new start, which I'm doing a few hours early. And then my last 3 are my 3 designs that I have not finished yet, but want to get done. So that way I'll get 2 more hours in on them before the end of the year. So I'll kind of go through those. So the first one, from noon to 2, I'm gonna restart Let's Talk Stitching by Hands On Design, which is this project. Ooh, this project. I'm not as organized as I normally am because we got in super late last night, and I don't know if you can see my little whiteboard. That's all the things I need to get done today. So, oh, Kaya, puppy nightmares. So this is Hands On Design, Let's Talk Stitching. I originally had started it on 40 count aqua, but I couldn't see the white. It was really hard for me to see the white. So I am restarting it on 40 count lagoon, and I've already found the center for it. And I'm also gonna do a center start on this versus upper left or upper right hand corner, just so I have even borders all the way around. Or, well, without having to measure precisely. So this is what I'll be stitching it on. And then I did change the greens. The called for greens are more like lime green greens. I changed it to more like regular greens. So 905 and 906. Originally they were, I think 472 and a different one, but I changed them to 905 and 906. The others, everything else I've kept the same. So that's gonna be what I work on from noon to 2 p.m. And then from 2 to 4, I'm restarting beach chairs, which is a dimensions kit. I originally started this actually on our honeymoon 2.5 years ago, and that was stupid. Clearly not focused on stitching very much during that. We were in the Keys and a lot going on, and I messed up from the very beginning. So I don't have very much in, thankfully, and so I'm gonna be restarting it. I had changed the fabric to 32 count ice blue linen. So this is just as much as I'd gotten done. So like not very much. And the blue that you see, those are half stitches. So I noticed, so I messed up. I started with half stitches, messed up, and I noticed it when I started to go put the green in that it wasn't working. So I'm restarting it on this fabric. It is very stiff, so hopefully it kind of relaxes. And then I love the needle minder to the beach. So I'm restarting this from 2 to 4. And then my New Year, New Start, which I recently talked about, is Long Dog Samplers Fish and Chips. I'm starting this with Laura. I'm stitching by the shore. And I am stitching it on 40 count Compelling Conscious from Those Missing Stitches. So that's gonna be, the modeling's not as harsh, but it is quite bright. And you can see this is where I tested to make sure the white was gonna show up, and it is. So that's kind of the full piece of fabric. I only need half of this fabric. Well, it would be like this. I only need half of this fabric, so I think I might do it on this side where it's a little bit darker. This side, I tried to find like the lightest part of the fabric to see if the white would show up, and it did. So I feel confident I can kind of do it anywhere, but I'm thinking about this half. So, and then I will be stitching it all in just DMC white on 40 count. So yeah, kind of, it's a little bit more tealy than like blue. I don't know. It's a little more green than that, but it's gorgeous. So that will be my New Year, New Start. So I'll get 2 hours in on that. And then these next 3 are my designs that I have started, but I have not quite finished. So the first one, which I just showed these in my whip parade, so I'll just put up the mock-ups. The first one is Kind Fierce Brave. Gonna get 2 more hours in on that from 6 to 8. And then from 8 to 10, I'm gonna try and finish Beach Quaker, or at least get more. I'm hoping to have Beach Quaker done before 12 by 12, but if I don't, then this is where I hopefully will finish it. If I do finish it, then of course I'll find something else to fit that slot. And then actually I can go ahead and show, I have it right here because I'm working on it. I'm trying to get this one. This is my next one that I'm like trying to really get done. I got this section done in the car on the way to the baby shower, so you can get an idea of how it's coming along. So yeah, so now my plan at this point with this one, just in case you're curious, I'm gonna get the rest of the white stitches in. I just wanna go ahead, or no, let me take that back. I'm gonna do the white of this section, get the blue in, and the white of this section and get that in so I can see all the colors together. And then on this side, get all the white in, finish off the white, and then I can just fill in, because we're leaving for the Keys in less than 2 weeks, which is gonna be 2 8-hour days of driving. It's hard to count in the truck. On certain roads, it's not the smoothest ride, so it's hard to count, but I can easily fill in. So for this, I had already had the white done before we left on Friday, and then I easily filled that in. So that's my plan. White done, fill in. So get that done, and then my last one that I'll work on from 12 to midnight theoretically will be my nautical flags alphabet, which here's the mock-up of that. And I'm about 30% done on that one. So, and that's my one after Beach Quakers. That's my next one that I'm really gonna try and get done. So yeah, so those are my 12 by 12 plans. I'm super curious on what you're doing, how you're tackling 12 by 12. Comment below with what your plans are. It's so fun to hear how people are kind of doing it differently, and how they decide to tackle that time period. But I won't have as much entertainment this year, since the last 2 years UGA was playing in one of the games on New Year's Eve, but I guess I'll have to watch something else. Or if I really feel like a glutton for punishment, I'll watch the Alabama game. But yeah, so we'll see what we end up watching that night. All right, and then 2024 plans. And a cloud just came by, so good thing I'm kind of done showing stitching. 2024 plans. 2 overall themes for my plans. I do not want to go above 30 whips. I am currently at 27, hopefully, and then I think I'm gonna end, I'm hoping to get 2 more finishes if all goes according to plan, and then, no, 1 more finish. So what am I at, 26 right now? Somewhere in there. My goal is to finish the year with my restarts at 29, I think is what I would end the year with. Either 28 or 29. So I want to keep it there until I get some more finishes, and then I want to try and keep it under 30 throughout the year is kind of my goal. I think above 30 is when I'm going to start feeling stressed and like, crap, you know, I really need to get things done. So, because then it's almost like overwhelming. It's like too many choices. Speaking of too many choices, one way that my other overall theme for the year is I want to touch every project. I'm almost able to do that this year. There's 3 projects left that I need to work on, that I plan to before the end of the year. So, oh no, I have to sneeze. I'm sorry. I want to touch every project of mine next year. And I'm almost at that point this year where I just have 3 more that I need to touch, and then I will have done that. So my goal for next year, in order to help achieve that, I'm gonna do Whip Go again next year. I took a break this year and didn't do Whip Go. I wanna do it next year, which is the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. If you're new, that's kind of the bingo card where Jessie calls 2 numbers every month, and those are supposed to be the projects like you work on that month, until you reach your goal for that. My goal for all of my Whip Go projects is progress. Like, I touch it for 5 minutes, check. I get 4 days in, check. You know, it's like, I just want to say I've put stitches in. I think ultimately I would love to put 100 stitches in. Like, I think that's going to be kind of like okay, once I've hit 100 stitches, I'll move on. But if for some reason I can't get back to it, or I'm over it, or, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, 100 stitches, just touch it. Just touch it. Just put it on a Q-snap, get a strand in, done, you know? Because there are definitely some projects next year that are not my focuses, that I'm not really trying to make significant progress on. I have things, they're low on the priority list, I should say. So for those, like if I could just get a strand in, you know, then I'm still making progress towards it. So those are the 2 kind of overall themes. So Whip Go, that only has 25 projects on it though. So I still have a little list on the side of, you know, by the end of the year, I need to make sure that I touch these even though I didn't touch them with Whip Go. So that's the overall. I have 5 projects that I definitely want to finish next year. And I'll put up their cover photos here. The first one is I definitely want to finish Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. I definitely want to finish my 2 designs that I would still have left by then, Nautical Flags Alphabet and Kind Fierce Brave. Definitely want to finish both of those. My Vacation Memories Tropical that from wizardeye.com, my Orcadia kit. And then this one's a stretch goal. This is a stretch, but I really would love to finish Sapphire/September from Northern Expression Needleworks, because that is a gift that I would like to give next year. I've barely started it, so that's why I say it's a stretch. I think once I finish that September word in the middle, I think it will go a lot faster. I just need to get, that's 1/1, and September's a long word. June went by so quick, but it was much shorter word. So September, I definitely want to try and get that done. So those 5 are going to be what I really focus on at the beginning of the year that are not also my WIPGO calls. So it's kind of going to be the first half of the year. I'm really going to focus on those because I know I've said it a lot, but I start residency in June/July. Not a whole lot, and I'm moving, and David's gonna be gone. Like, it's just gonna be a lot. So stitching is not gonna be abundant in the second half of next year. So I wanna try and get these real goals done at the beginning of the year. And then, I don't have as much stress on that. More specific goals, I have 5 projects that I do have a specific goal that I would love to finish, or that I would love to see progress. And these might be what I focus like on the second half of the year, where I don't have a gift I need to get to someone. I don't need to have I can just kind of work on these at my leisure. The 5 goals I have is for Celtic Christmas from Lavender and Lace picture. I want to finish the dress. I want to finish her dress. I am about a third of the way on her dress, and I'm planning to work on her over Christmas this year, so hopefully I'll get a little bit more progress. But I'd love to finish the dress part, and even just the cross stitching. It doesn't have to be the cry neck. If I can just finish the cotton cross stitching of the dress, that would be amazing. I want to finish that top right corner of Beachcomber. I'm close, but I'm not quite there, so I'm trying to finish that next year. And then I want to get another 25% done on the Seasons in Lace Winter. I'm currently at 25%, so I'd love to get to the halfway mark next year. My Shores of Hawker Hollow, I actually made a lot of progress on that over this weekend. I filled in that green, so I just have the 2 little white motifs over the ships. I'm gonna finish those this year. Like, I might do that today, just knock those out. In that case, then I next year want to finish the center block of Shores of Hawker Hollow. And then my last one is a year-long goal that I'm planning to start maybe even over Christmas, we'll see. I want to get 250 stitches in per week on Hammock at Sunset. And I'll put a picture in of that too. I have finished the first page, and I'm maybe like a quarter of the way down to the second page. If I do 250 stitches a week, I wouldn't finish it, but I'd get close. So that would be nice. And then that's just, I get like, I know this is like really breaking it down, but I get about 60 stitches per strand of a color. So 250 divided by 60, that's how many strands that I need to get in a week. So like 4 to 5 strands a week in on it. So I feel like that's a strand a day on it, that'd be awesome. So if I could do like a strand a day on Hammock at Sunset for the whole year, I would make a lot of progress. So those are my 5 like more specific goals. Every other project, so I guess my other 17 projects are progress. Put a strand in, get done what I can get done. And then I do have 3 starts that I want to start next year. I don't have specific dates in mind, but these are my 3 starts that I definitely, well, I guess actually 4 starts that I know I want to start. So I need to finish 4 things to start 4 things is my brain. because math, right? So one thing I'm definitely gonna start, and hopefully we'll finish, is my memorial piece for Isla. We have officially passed the age and amount of time we had Isla with Kaya. So we lost, if you're new here, we lost our 5.999 month old puppy in June, tragically. And so we only had her for almost exactly 3 months. She was a day before her 6-month birthday. And so we have now had Kaya for 4 months, and she is 6.5 months old. So I think part of me just like, I know this sounds bad, but like I just wanted to wait until Kaya, like we officially had her longer, like it was all gonna be okay. We made it through. It was a pretty tragic time in June for us. So I just haven't been able, bottom line, I just have not been able to start her memorial piece. That's gonna go on her memorial shelf. So I think by the new year, I'll be ready to do that. So I'm gonna start that I designed. And then my other 2 starts are gonna be, I really wanna start Top Gun. This I'm actually thinking of starting when David leaves for dive school in January. So maybe starting this then, and then I'd have this done very quickly, but ultimately, I actually would like to have this FFO'd by the time he comes home, which will be June, so I have 6 months to do that. I'm wondering if I can get this done before Stitch Away and then leave it with Barbara at keepsakes. Okay, this is the one floss I know I'm using is the Weeks Dye Works Navy. I don't know my fabric yet, and I'm gonna do the Aviators in black. Or the called for is Peacoat by Weeks Dye Works, so I might still do that because I like the Aviators need to be dark, not blue. And then maybe do the rest of it in like navy or something. I don't know. Or do the Aviators and Peacoat, the lines and the airplane, the jet, David would be unhappy with how I'm describing this. Those 3 in like the Peacoat, and then maybe the Talk to Me Goose in the navy or something. I don't know. I definitely want to start this next year, early next year. This that I have done quickly. And then my last thing I want to start, which I don't know if I will have done next year, it was the thing we got, the project I kitted up at Salty Yarns, which is Quaker Blue Whale. And I'm going to do the top one. I'm doing this, and if you watched my last video, you've already seen all of this, but doing this on 40 count Morning Fog by Bestitch Me with Deep Sea by Gentle Art. So that's gonna be the combo for that blue whale. So yeah, that's my other definite new start. The other one that I would like to start, I have not like kitted up at all. I just got this pattern. Again, if you've seen my last video, you've seen this already, but I really love it and I really wanna start it. Is Sweet Wings Studio Forever in Peace. I just love that flag. I just really do. I don't know if I would do the words. I love the words, but I kind of just want that flag to stand out. So I might kit this up at, we're going to Liberty Hill Needleworks this weekend because we're taking those friends to the airport. So we're going to be in Williamsburg, so I'm going to stop by there. So I might get this up while we're there. At least get the floss. I don't know what fabric yet, but yeah. So those are my definite new starts. So 4, maybe 4. I mean, we'll see, but definitely 3. And then hopefully of those, I will definitely finish 2 of them. So really, we're only talking about a net 2 starts. It's fine, everything's fine. So those are my ultimate plans. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Or if you have any ideas, or if you're doing something interesting, I'd love to hear what your plans are. It's such a fun time of year, kind of hearing how everyone's like working through the things they've tried, the errors, the new ideas, kind of hearing how people tackle things. So that's kind of it for now. I will be doing my finish parade, not this week. It will not be this week. Hopefully next week. Well, it has to be next week because we leave for the Keys and then the year's over, basically. So next week I'm gonna do my finish parade, and yeah, in the meantime, thanks for everything, and I hope you're enjoying. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate. I know Hanukkah got started, so happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas holidays of all the things. I hope you're taking care of yourself and doing well. And yeah, and I would show you Kaya up close and personal, but you know what they say, never wake a sleeping baby. So I'm gonna let her sleep. Tanky's over here, he's super happy on his dog bed. So we all wish you a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye, friends.